What you're looking at isn't a brushstroke. It's 200,000 light-years of baby stars, stitched in a dead straight line. Leading the charge at nearly 1,000 kilometers per second, a supermassive black hole. Now, a black hole has one job: destroy, devour. Slam this thing into the Milky Way. What's left of Earth? Do we even see it coming? This is, what if a supermassive black hole rammed into the Milky Way? Rewind to 2023. A team, led by Yale astronomer Peter van Dokkum, is running routine observations on a nearby dwarf galaxy through the Hubble Space Telescope. And they find this, a perfectly straight streak of young blue stars stretching almost twice the length of our entire Milky Way. Light takes 100,000 years just to cross our stellar neighborhood. This massive streak takes double. Van Dokkum's exact words when he saw it: "Something like this has never been seen anywhere in the universe." Frankly, when a Yale professor says that, you sit up straight and pay attention. Naturally, the team's first move is the obvious one: push the panic button and figure out what in the world this thing actually is. Because a straight line in space means something went very fast and something went very wrong. So the team draws up a shortlist: 3 suspects. Suspect 1. Maybe this is just a super thin galaxy, seen edge on, so we're only looking at its side profile. Case closed, right? Right? Wrong. Follow-up data from the Keck Observatory in Hawaii traces the streak back 7.7 billion light-years. It confirms something totally bizarre. Every single star in this streak is the exact same age, and the exact same color: young, blue. A real galaxy is a mixed bag. Old stars, young stars, red giants, blue dwarfs. The whole family reunion. This isn't a family reunion. This is a yearbook photo where somehow everyone is exactly 22. And the tip of the streak is glowing with something called doubly ionized oxygen, O3 for short. All that technobabble means is you've stripped 2 electrons clean off every single oxygen atom in the area. To do that, you don't need a quiet galaxy. You need somewhere seriously violent. Suspect 1. Eliminated. Suspect 2. A jet of radiation from a nearby galaxy, shocking gas into forming stars. We've actually seen this exact trick before, in a galaxy nicknamed Minkowski's object. Promising. Until you look at the physical shape. A jet gets wider the farther it travels from its source. This thing gets narrower. It's like following a trail of footprints in the snow that keeps shrinking the farther someone walks. It makes 0 sense. Something is off. Suspect 2. Eliminated. Which leaves exactly one theory standing. One that's existed purely on paper since 1983 with 0 direct proof. Ever. A runaway black hole. Here's where the timeline jumps forward 2 years. It's December 2025, and the James Webb Space Telescope is aimed at this same streak, this time with sharper eyes. Webb doesn't just confirm the runaway black hole theory, it traces the entire stellar vein back to its source. Roughly 7.5 to 9 billion light-years away sits a pair of colliding ring galaxies with the kind of nickname that writes its own headline: the Cosmic Owl. Some call it the Infinity Galaxy. Ring galaxies alone make up 0.01% of every galaxy we've ever catalogued. Translation: rarer than winning the lottery. And the Cosmic Owl needed 2 of them, slamming into each other almost dead center. That's winning the lottery. Twice. In the exact same week. Each of these galactic cores, about a quarter the width of the Milky Way, started merging roughly 38 million years ago in a region nicknamed the Beak, a place absolutely packed with the raw gas needed to build stars. And somewhere in that collision, the 2 supermassive black holes at each galaxy's heart finally merged into one. The gravitational recoil from that merger was so violent it launched the newly combined black hole north of 10 million solar masses, clean out of its own galaxy. Fast enough to escape not just the galaxy, but the entire halo of gas surrounding it, at just under 954 kilometers per second. So somewhere out there, a black hole got dumped by its own galaxy, and it left. Fast. Now bring that thing home. Picture this exact black hole hitting the outer edge of the Milky Way. It doesn't slip in quietly. It plows in at supersonic speed, punching a colossal shockwave out in front of it. It's the same physics as a speedboat shoving water out of its way, just scaled up by about 1 trillion. You're standing on Earth right now, maybe eating a sandwich. And somewhere past the edge of our galaxy, something with the mass of 10 million suns just kicked our stellar neighborhood into chaos. Anything unlucky enough to be sitting in its lane gets its orbit completely wrecked. Whole star systems unspooled. Planets flung into the freezing void like cheap frisbees. Total cosmic eviction. Toasty. But here's the good news. Space is mostly empty. Embarrassingly empty, so the odds of Earth getting swallowed whole, immediately, without warning, lower than the visual just made you think. So there's something to look forward to. Here's the part that breaks your brain a little. That shockwave doesn't just push gas out of the way, it crushes it. Interstellar gas gets slammed together, compressed hard enough that it starts to cool, clump, and collapse. Into brand new stars. Millions of them, trailing behind the black hole like bright blue sparks kicked off an angle grinder. Hot, bright, alive. Frankly, it's the universe's most efficient hit and run. Chaos out front, a nursery in the back. It's the one guy who torches the whole building down, and somehow still walks away with full credit for the renovation. If our solar system happens to be sitting far enough from the direct collision path, you don't get destroyed. You get a front row seat. Step outside tonight, in this version of events, and look up. Half your sky is gone, replaced by a single blinding band of billions of newborn stars, splitting the darkness clean in two, horizon to horizon. You would never look at a night sky the same way again. Zoom out on the timeline, and that trail of wreckage doesn't just sit there. It cools, it clumps. Over millions of years, it could eventually become brand new planets. Maybe even new life, built from the exact same chaos that could have ended everything you know. Let's face it, no gym membership, no 401k prepares you for watching the universe literally rewrite itself over your own backyard. You just have to stand there and stare. And here's the part you need to actually sit with. Everything you just watched is not a hypothetical. It already happened. In December 2025, the James Webb Space Telescope confirmed this exact object. They gave it a name about as poetic as a parking ticket: Runaway Black Hole 1, RBH1. This is the first photographic proof ever of a supermassive black hole escaping its own galaxy. Not a theory scribbled in a 1983 physics paper anymore. Real. Out there. Moving at 954 kilometers per second right now, this very second. And if it happened once, it can happen again. Because it turns out, galaxy collisions are less freak accident and a lot more Tuesday. The universe is playing interstellar billiards, and the cue balls are heavy enough to crush a solar system. Turns out, RBH1 wasn't the first black hole to raise suspicion. There's a spiral galaxy called J04372456 sitting 288 million light-years out. In that one, a black hole weighing around 3 million solar masses is drifting at a completely different speed than the rest of its own galaxy. Like one guy casually walking against the crowd at a heavy metal concert. You just know he's up to something. Smells fishy. Weirder still, a giant galaxy cluster called Abell 2261 is supposed to be home to one of the biggest black holes in the entire observable universe, somewhere between 3 and 100 billion solar masses. It should be the gravitational anchor keeping that neighborhood together. And it's just gone. No trace. Just an empty seat where the king used to sit. Which is either deeply unsettling or the best game of hide-and-seek the universe has ever played. Seriously, How do you lose something weighing 100 billion suns? With missions like Euclid and the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope about to scan the entire sky at Hubble-level clarity, plus machine learning built specifically to spot streaks exactly like this one, the math is about to change. We could go from one confirmed runaway black hole to an entire catalogued population of them in a jiff. So if there really are hundreds of these things out there, wandering, untracked, unmarked in the dark, the next question basically writes itself. Is one of them already headed our way? We won't know until we see the wake. Before you go, drop a like and hit subscribe. It's the only way you'll know the second we spot the next one. The universe runs on chaos, on a schedule none of us get to see. But every once in a while, that chaos is exactly how it plants something new. Even a black hole, the one thing we assumed only knew how to destroy, turns out to be one of the most efficient creators we've ever caught red-handed. The universe has laws. COSO science just likes asking, what if it didn't? Catch you on the next one.